Hey everybody, it's Tarina. How are you? With Create with Tree, that's me. And today I am live over in the Crafty Bunch. We have an event all about the color gold. And I'll be using some gold today. I've done some etching already, prepped some project, and I can't wait to show you guys. I am not in my normal craft room because we just got home and we're only going to be home for a few days. And so my craft room kind of ended up being like everything piled into my craft room while I was gone. So I'm at my kitchen table. So welcome to my kitchen. But I am over in the Crafty Bunch. We are doing the gold event. And before me was Grace, and her business page is she's changed it a little bit, so I have to look at it. Grace Faithful Creations, the Pouncy Bling Queen. And then after me is my friend Wendy, was Simply Bewitching Crafts by Wendy. So all day long has been this amazing event. I've popped in and out and watched some really great projects being done, but I'm really, really excited, you guys, about the project I'm going to be doing. So I can't wait to show you. Again, welcome to my kitchen. I want to show you the screen that I'm going to be using this. It's still this afternoon. This is a larger screen, and it looks like this. And I normally don't cut my screens, but I did for this project because I'm going to be using a. Let me go over here. I can't see any comments yet, so let me see. Let's see. Oh, there we are. Hi, Joe. How are you? Hi, Dottie. Thank you so much. Hi, Brookie. Thank you. Hi, Terry. How are you guys? Thank you so much for being here. And if you're new to my page, make sure you click that follow button because, I go live several times a week. But the reason I cut my screen in half is because I'm going to be using a gold frame for my project, and I wanted to be able to just kind of center it on my project. I have you ever had a project that you have wanted to do and you think you know what you want, and then you're like, okay, is this going to work? Well, that's kind of where I'm at today. I took this one right here. This is the top. This is a two-part transfer. So I took this one and I took the glass out of the frame and I actually etched. Can you guys see that? I etched the angel. So we're going to be doing some rub and buff on this guy and make it gold and make it pop. But I'm going to set this aside really fast because that's going to be like the last part we do. Hi, Christy. Thank you. Thanks again, you guys, so much for being here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with this bottom area first. And what I've done is I cut a piece of our chalk suede. It's kind of like cardstock, but it's really soft and it has like this texture that absorbs the chalk paste. Okay, and it's made specifically for our screens, so I'm really excited about this. Hi everybody, thanks so much, you guys. Okay, so I did already cut this down to fit the frame, just so you guys have understand what's going on. You don't have to use wax when you use the chalk suede. I personally like to. Anything that is not a chalkboard, I would rather use a little bit of wax just to make it a very smooth transition. And you don't need a lot. I rub on the wax. Again, I barely put any on my rag, but it just gives it enough to make that transfer really come off nice and easy. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing too. And I promise you I'll post some pictures. And I'm really hoping to get done. We're here till 3:45 my time. So hopefully we get done with this. All right, so I just basically rubbed that on and buffed it off. All right, and then the next thing we're gonna do is when our transfers are brand new, they're super sticky. And so I want to make sure. Hi, Wendy. That's who's on after me. So make sure you guys go over and give her some love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this off the backer sheet. And this is brand new, by the way, you guys. The backer sheets, to make sure you know which side of the back is a little bit yellow or a little off-white. The white side is for the sticky side. And our transfers are reusable. So that's what's really great about it. It's not a one and done. And their silk screens are very detailed. So that's what I love about this design. It is super detailed. I did get a little bit of dust on it. There we go. So when they're first brand new, you want to make sure that you do what's called fuzzing. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting it on a microfiber cloth and just lift it up a couple times. All right, so I want to center this on my chalk suede paper. And then I'm going to smooth it out. And again, if you guys are here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. And make sure you guys go over and watch all of the replays over on the Crafty Bunch. I had a little hair. Do you ever get that? I get hairs in everything I do. That's where I'm shedding all the time. My hair is always like falling out. All right. So you can see I centered that on my sheet. Okay. So the colors that I want to use on this is, I love this stencil. It is incredible. It is so, like, I love the details. I love the details of it. It's just, I can't even. So the first thing I want to do is in the area where there is the wings and like right around my little angel gal, I want to put a little bit of gold. And I probably will even add a little bit of gold here. And then the rest I'm going to use, I'm probably going to use sage and eucalyptus. I'm going to kind of do like a hot mess technique where it's just a little mixture. Even though they're very similar in color, I just want like a little bit of a different look. Okay, so I'm going to open these guys up. And when you open them up, you can kind of tell one's a little lighter. And I really like these colors. Sage, okay, in my head, I'm like sage and eucalyptus. Sorry. They are very similar in colors. All right. And then I'm going to do the gold. So I'm going to get out my multi-tool. So this is a gold. We have a gold shimmer and we have, this is called Nominee. I actually really like this color. This was a special color. We have colors of the month and that's what this was. But we also have this beautiful like gold shimmer that I love as well. So I'm going to kind of start, I hope you guys can see this. I'm going to start up in the corner and we might have to do what's called the paste and peel a little bit because I don't want the paste to dry in my screen. But there's like these little lines up here and I want to get those like covered with the gold. Thank you, Star. I love this one too. It's so, so beautiful. Also with the chalk suede, it's really kind of nice because you can, if you do make a mistake, it's very forgiving, and you can wipe it off pretty quick. Not very many cardstocks do that, right? I think that's very clever. All right, so I'm just going to kind of dip my squeegee in and just kind of go over a couple of different areas. Like I said, I'm trying to stay away from my little angel gal. And then I'm going to dip into the sage and do the same thing. And then I'm even going to blend where the gold and the green colors kind of come together. If you passed kindergarten, this you guys can do. I'm telling you, it's so awesome. All right. So I'm just, like I said, trying to, the best I can, stay away from my little angel gal. Okay, I'm just going to kind of go in here and just blend a little bit. With my finger, set that aside. And again, I'm just going to peel up a little bit. Oh gosh, this is so pretty, you guys. Look how gorgeous that is. It's very detailed. I absolutely love this transfer. And I could see using the transfer on other things other than just with the angel. Like these little bits of area are just absolutely gorgeous. All right. And again, if you guys are not over on the Crafty Bunch, maybe you pop over there and give everybody a look-see, because I'm telling you, everybody's projects today have just been absolutely gorgeous. And I love being part of that group. Just so many different niches, different types of crafting. And again, I'm just kind of going over this area with that gold. And like I said, I did etch some of the glass. I etched all the glass, and I'm not really quite sure how I want it. I have it in my mind how I want it to look. If it turns out that way, it'll be great. It will be really awesome if it all works out the way I have it in my brain. And Facebook has been really kind of wonky all day today for our crafters. So I'm hoping that if I don't see your comment, I promise you I'll go back and I'll respond to your comment. Okay, again, I'm just going to pull this up. Just beautiful. Look at how much detail there is. And again, the reason I do this is just so that I don't have the paste drying in my screen. All right, so let's come back and we're gonna do the same thing. And we'll just probably finish this area off. Oops, sorry you guys. I moved that, then I got a bubble. I don't want a bubble. Okay, better. You just don't want bubbles. That's really important. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing, just that hot mess, adding. This is the eucalyptus. And not that it's going to be like this huge difference in colors, but it'll be different. It'll be a little bit different. All right, and then this is the sage. Okay, and then I'm just going through and dragging the colors together. I'm going to add a little bit of the gold down the side here. Again, just finger painting. Just finger painting. And then right here too, I'm just going to kind of go over and blend the colors together. And then I'm going to do the same thing down the sides here. Oops. It's a good thing I put something down on my my table so I didn't mess it up. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing down this side. with the gold and just blend. Come up in here, blend, 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 blend. Okay, there, let's pull this up and see what we get, okay? Hi, Lisa, how are you? Just like that. Look at how beautiful. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love all that detail. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this on the backer sheet. Hey, can you have me a wipe really fast? I forgot to grab my wipes. Thank you. So I'm gonna let this sit and dry for just a minute. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. So I'm just gonna let that dry for just a few minutes. And then I'm going to do the wings. I've got the wings here. They're just like a cutout, like a thin wood. And then I'm going to do gold on those. Let's see these real quick. And then we're going to do a second layer on this backer sheet. Sorry, I had to think. Words are hard today, you guys. Words are hard. All right, let me just wipe these off. And again, if you guys are here, I am in an event today. Can you have me one more wipe, please? I'm in an event today with the Crafty Bunch, and you can see the replay of all of the lives from today over on the Crafty Bunch, and that's all linked in there. All right. Crafting is a messy sport, people. All right, let me just go here. All right, let me grab my scissors. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Just put it in the comments. And if I don't see your response, I will get back to you. Aren't these fun? I love this. I love all the detail that this is going to offer. All right. So I've already used this before, so I don't have to fuzz it. Once I've already used it, there's no need to fuzz it. So I'm just going to put this, I'm going to center my wings, the transfer stencil, onto the little cutout. And then I can go over it with the gold paste. Okay. And I love like the detail of this little cutout. I think it's just going to lend itself to just be awesome. All right. Let me get a bigger squeegee. All right, so I'm just going to scoop up and I'm going to smooth over just the wing area. Okay. And this is the part of the transfer that I used to do the etching on the glass. And you can use etching, you can use paste, you can use ink, all with the same exact transfer. And that's what I love about this. Like if I wanted this on a t-shirt, I could use ink. Okay. Hi, Maria. How are you? Just gonna go there. Sometimes I can get a better. I love to finger paint, you guys. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That is so gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside to dry. Okay, let me do this other side. And it is Wednesday. It feels like Monday. I think it's just because we were gone for so long. If you guys didn't know, I've been gone for a couple weeks. Our son and his wife had a baby. We've had 2 grandbabies in a matter of the last 6 weeks. Like our baby girl was born, and 3 weeks later, our little grandson was born. So we have 5 grandchildren. So it's been a lot of fun around here. All right. Yeah, I love etching. I have been doing etching for quite a long time. Look at that. That's so pretty. That's really pretty. All right, I'm going to set that aside to dry. Okay. What time do we got? Okay, we've got quite a long time. That's good. Hopefully I just kind of like it went black, so hopefully you guys can still see me. All right. So I want to I got a little bit of so Star, I did because it takes a while. It's kind of like watching paint dry. What I did is I actually didn't do the etching on live. I did a video of it because it takes 10 minutes for the etching to go. So I did post a video of me etching on my page. All right. So I'm going to wash this off real quick. Let me just set this aside. I'm going to flip my microfiber over. This is called a fuzz cloth. And I'm just going to wash this off real quick. Normally I wash my screens in the sink, but in a pinch you can use like a little wet rag or whatever and a towel. All right, so then I'm going to flip it over. And like I said, these are reusable, so this is why I can do this. Let me get this one a little bit. I can wash it off and then reuse it. Okay. And it's still sticky, and that's what I love about it. All right. So the next thing I want to do, let's see if this actually works. I'll be excited if it does. I don't know. I have no idea if it's going to work, but we're going to try. Okay. So I grabbed another, well, actually it's all from the same piece of chalk suede paper. So I got this, it was what was left over. Let me grab my wax rag again. I'm going to put a little wax down. And I'm just going to wax it. And then buff it. Okay. My table doesn't even have enough room. All right. So it's nice and smooth. So what I want to do is I want to actually go and do my angel. Okay. So what I'm going to do is use some colors. Like I said, I don't know if it's even going to work, but you know what? If it doesn't, that's okay. We learned what not to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out a couple of different colors. I don't know which ones I'm going to use, but this is saffron. This is Harvest Shimmer. It's another gold. I have a brown, which is called Bark. And then I have this Shimmer Copper. I also wanted to mix some colors to make like a skin color. So I got out Sunset Drive, and that's another thing that's really nice about our colors is you can actually you can mix because they are acrylic based. The pigment is acrylic based, and so you can actually mix the colors together to create a custom color. All right, so I'm going to grab Camel and dab that in there. I don't know if this is going to be too dark. Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate it. So just an FYI for those who are new to me, I have 4 sons, and then 3 of which now have children. My youngest one is not married, and nowhere near having children yet. Oh, this is Dune. This is kind of like an off-white. So I'm gonna, again, another one of my hairs. I swear there's a hair everywhere. So I just put it on a paper plate and I'm just kind of mixing these around. That pink, that Sunset Drive is just way too pink for me. So I think I need more of that Dune. So anyway, I have 4 boys who are all young men now. And my oldest son has 3 children. And my number 2 boy is the one that just had the little boy. That's where we were at. And then number 3 boy, he and his wife had our first brand new little granddaughter. So it's really exciting to, I mean, we have daughter-in-laws and they're amazing, but it's been fun to have this little grandbaby. We're so excited. This little granddaughter. So our grandsons are amazing, and I love each and every one of my little grandchildren. But it's been fun. I mean, they just don't live close to me, and that's the bummer part. So that's pretty good. That's a good skin tone. So what I'm going to do now is I want to clean this off because I don't want to contaminate and have too many different colors. Oh my gosh. I'm a hot mess, you guys. Look at this. All right. So this is hair. I'm going to leave that there for a second. I'm just going to scoop up a little bit. This is a detail tool. This has like a smaller screen, like smaller squeegee on it. So I'm just going to go in with my new skin color that I created. I think that's what we need. We need like a skin color or a couple skin colors. Anyway, so we've got grandkids all over. We've got them in Utah. We do have some in California, and we have one in Arizona, and that's where we've been. So I'm just going to come in here on this screen. And trying to be as careful as I can. All right. So then I'm also going to do like the neck area. And the face area. These little tiny squeegees, this one, and there's the detail or the multi-tool. They're kind of, I like to refer to them like almost like our paintbrush. I love it. So let me pull this away real fast. And then there's her arms and her face and her neck. It looks pretty good. So then I'm just going to lay this back down. Because now what I want to do is come in and do some hair color. And then I also want to do like her dress. So I think what I'm going to do there is just come in with this gold and outline outline her dress right here. Sorry, you guys. I thought I turned my ice maker off. Apparently I did not. Okay. So let me, I have like some sculpting tools that I've had for like a really long time. And so I'm just kind of going to go in with my sculpting tool. It's kind of like a squeegee, and kind of go in and do like a hot mess type of a thing. Oh, wash that off. Don't want to contaminate. So then I'm going to come in here with the, it's kind of like, it's like all the shimmery stuff. I love the shimmery stuff. And again, if you guys aren't over on the Crafty Bunch, make sure you guys go in. After me is my friend Wendy, and Simply Bewitching Crafts with Wendy. She's fun. She's always so fantastic, and I can't wait to see what she's got for us today. I'm going to add a little bit of like this copper shimmer to kind of fill in. I don't think I'm going to use the brown because it seems to me it's too dark. So I'm just going to kind of fill in with this copper. My grandma used to tell me that my hair when I was born was the color of a copper penny. And not that this is me, but I don't know. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Isn't that pretty? I like that. So the next thing I wanted to do, all the things, you guys, all these things I want to do. Again, I had all this stuff in my brain of the way I wanted this to go. And so far, so good. Let's move on to the next step in my brain. Let me just close these up. I don't want them to dry out. Let's see if I had anybody. Wendy, I love you, friend. You're awesome. Hi, Julie. How are you? You guys, I've used a lot of colors on this today, but I think it's because I really wanted something very unique. And so that's why I chose to do a lot of colors. Do you need to use all the colors? No, you do not need to use all of these colors. You absolutely do not. Okay, so the next color I'm going to use is, thanks, Wendy. I'm going to use, this is called Eggshell Blue, and this is one of my new favorite colors. So I do have a thing of water sitting here. And we're going to kind of watercolor onto my little angel's dress, okay? And again, if this doesn't work out, we're not using this, but I'm hoping that it does work out. And I'm just using my lid as my palette. Okay, so I'm just going over like where her dress would be. Just with a paintbrush, just kind of dragging that down. I am not a painter. My mother was a painter. I never, painting was not my thing other than crafting. Anything I picked up from my mother is very minimal. She was very, very talented. Okay. And of course I did not grab my my dryer, so we're gonna have to let things air dry. And I'm okay that it's like, I want it to be rather see-through-ish. I don't want it to be too dark. I didn't want it to be blue and I didn't want it to be green. I wanted it to be very ethereal, I guess. So I'm trying to drag down because this area will be cut off. We'll see what that looks like when it's dried. Isn't that pretty? All right, let me just set this aside. All these steps, you guys, all these little steps. All right. Set this aside. And again, you don't have to do all these steps. It's not necessary, but I absolutely love this. Oh, Joe, I love you. And Joe knows my mom. She knew my mom. You're gonna make me cry, Joe. I'm just gonna take another little bit of the wax over my finished paste area. Just because I don't want it to pull up. See, and I've drug that down on accident. I was able to fix it real fast. Okay, so now what I want to do, oh, you know what I think I'm going to do really fast, you guys? I'm going to clean this. I don't want anything to transfer to this, so I'm just going to clean it with that same little wipey real quick. Okay. It doesn't even have to be fancy. I just need it to be not transferring any kind of paste to this design. All right, so now what I want to do is to center this on the design. Sorry, I'm trying to talk and chew gum at the same time, you guys. There we go. And so there's little bits of like very detailed pieces that I'm just going to go over with the gold. Trying to avoid anything that I don't want. So it's just these pieces, this like little, I don't even know what to call them, but it's just like giving it another layered look. Just don't want to miss any. And over here, I think that's it. All right, so we're going to pull this up real fast. Isn't it awesome when things work? And it just makes you so happy. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys. This looks like so great. Okay, let me see what time it is. 3:37. What do you guys think so far? Like just that is amazing. Like just that alone is absolutely incredible. Excuse me. All right. So let me pull my etched piece. All right. Let that dry. Let me set this aside on my table. Oh gosh. I'm just going to set it on the counter. Not enough room, you guys. All right. So I'm going to grab out the Rub and Buff now. And what that is like this, almost like carnauba wax. And I want a really like gold to match my gold that I used on on my piece. Okay, so let me, all right, so I'm just gonna kind of, here's my wax, my other wax rag. And I just want to kind of like put it on my rag and see if it that's, I think, that's a little too dark for me, I think. So that one is Grecian gold. I think that's just a little too coppery for me. Let's see. This one is antique gold. And this is what they look like. They just come in these little tubes. You can get it at craft stores. I got this online like so long ago. Ooh, I think that one works. That one actually looks really good. Okay, this one almost looks too brown. This is autumn gold, just from the packaging. Okay, so I'm gonna use antique gold. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little bit on my rag, and then I just kind of dab it together like that. And then I'm gonna go over my etched area, just like you're painting in the etched area. And before I get too far, I'm going to flip over my rag and just kind of buff. So again, rub and buff. And what this does is it fills in the area that you've etched. All right. So you can kind of see that. See, it really pops up the etched area. Oh, I love you too, Joe. All right. Continuing. I like to do a little area at a time, just because I don't want, for whatever reason, I just don't want the rub and buff to kind of like dry, like in a more solid state. Because then it's like any wax, it'll harden and you'll have a hard time getting it up off of your surface. Okay. And you don't want it in the little nooks and crannies. You want it to just be in that etching area. Okay. And it does not take very much at all of this. It takes some elbow grease though. All right. We had these other wings that I really liked, and I took one of my mom's paintings and did them with her painting. I did the other angel wings, and so I wanted to put this project next to that. Okay, so I got one more little area right here. I'm just like, did I get that on the bottom piece? Yeah, I did. Okay. And if all of this does not work out, I just don't have to use the glass. I don't have to use the cutout. I don't have to use anything. Like, I can just put everything on the paper if I wanted to. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Just that by itself is like so beautiful. All right. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any wax anywhere I didn't want. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to set that aside. And I want to cut out, so, I want to put the lid on this. Don't get this on anything because it has a hard time coming out. Let's see how much more time. I've only got like 2 minutes left, you guys. But I'll come back on and I will probably actually just do a video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut her out, add the wings to the top of the glass, and then I will assemble it all together. You guys have already kind of seen everything that I've done so far, but that's kind of the gist of it. It is a longer project than I normally do, but I think it's going to be so worth it. So make sure you guys hop over and watch Wendy with Simply Bewitching Crafts with Wendy, and go watch any of the replays with any of the people over in the Crafty Bunch in the event today. But I'm going to be fussy cutting this really quick, and then I will finish up and maybe do like a sped up of all the finishing, and then I promise you I'll post a finished picture. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Tarina with Create with Tree. That's me. I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.